little buffs that he has received makes him feel good.
Yeah, so first Qiyana game that I have the pleasure of casting. Strengths for the champion, because I was on the pod to release Qiyana, I was the balance consult on it. So I hope I'm familiar with the strengths and weaknesses of the champion.
So blame Jack.
Gank assist is one of the biggest strengths.
And get going. We're going to see, though, if Nisqy can break out the Qiyana. Having Aurelia plays previously in the weeks, he has been the one to be an aggressive mid laner. We'll see if he can do it. We do have a sideline report with Avali and a special fan.
Thanks, Riv. I am here with Team Liquid's biggest and youngest fan, Baby Lachlan. Baby Lachlan, how is Team Liquid going to take this game today?
I think they're going to win. They're going to take out the trash.
They're going to take out the trash. Who's your favorite player, Baby Lachlan?
Doublelift.
Doublelift? Mine too. Well, thank you for your little insight, and I love your chubby cheeks. Back to the casters.
You can't get mad at the trash talking, baby.
You can't.
That's what I learned.
You can't. I mean, chat ban was my first thought, but you just can't. You have to let it slide. So Doublelift getting a little bit of hometown hype there from a big fan of the smallest version. 12-3 on that record book for TL. They look to clinch first place with a win. A very big point coming out of this game, and a big one to get over Cloud9 if they can do it.
Yeah, and Cloud9, as we mentioned in the pregame, in need of this victory. It feels like they were in such a good position. They have lost 2 games in a row now, going from 9-4 to 9-6. They want to be able to catch COG by the end of the year. The playoff bye is incredibly important as you think about how tight the top 4 or even top 5 standings in the LCS are. Being able to skip that first round of the playoffs, just guarantee championship points, better chance at the summer finals, and also just momentum going into the playoffs.
It's a different beast. Playoff form is definitely a thing for teams. You think of TSM, they completely change when they go to that series. So it is a time that you need to be ramping up to that peak point. See if C9 is there. Doublelift said, we've been getting there still a few times. He said he may have been running it down yesterday before they needed to fix things. So still a few cobwebs to be worked out here. And I'm glad, or the teams are probably glad, just one more week in there as well.
Yeah, paying some more attention to the mid lane here. Pay huge attention to where the junglers go, because Twisted Fate is also another mid laner who excels with good gank assist, considering he has a card that he can throw at you for a guaranteed stun. As close to a point and click stun as you're going to be getting in a champion nowadays for League. However, Jensen actually has the opportunity to push Qiyana in until level 3, because until Qiyana has 2 points in Q to be able to throw the Q out, reset it by grabbing an element with W and throwing it again, the champ's actually not that strong. But what's interesting here actually is when I think about the mid lane, Jensen's not trying to take early advantage of it. And this is actually, I think, one of the opportunities you have to either get the Qiyana low on health or mana. So the fact that Nisqy made it to 3 with relative health, I think, sets him up quite well for the rest of this laning.
And he's ready with Ignite, Electrocute. If he can land those few attacks on Jensen, it changes the flow of the lane for him right away. A lot of aggression there. Nisqy loves to play that way, as we were saying, having those Aurelia plays under his belt for the mid laner. Xmithie walking away. Just a quick barrel to follow him. It does not hit him on the way out. Impact pushes in Licorice for free farm under the turret. Not too much action in that lane to start things off as they keep it safe in Gentleman's Agreement. Still seen there on the Vision Ward as they set up towards that top side.
Yeah, and I believe that Xmithie was hoping for more lane priority for that blue buff invade. If Jensen had been shoved up in the mid lane and also cheating towards that top side river, they could have done it. But there's the guaranteed route. You jump back out, you throw the earth, but Jensen traded back very well because he had the card ready.
See the 2 in queue right there, as you were saying, for Nisqy as his character sheet pops up. And watch how he levels out. The junglers continue to stay towards that top side. We did see Svenskeren hover around to see if he can get some more deep wards in and apply another attack towards that mid lane if they can catch him off guard. There's the flash in, the root, the hit, and the first blood to Nisqy. Summoners used, and it paid off.
Gank assist! Gonna have to watch the replay of that, but with the flash being expended, I would actually expect Nisqy may have kind of appeared from the river onto Jensen, and as you can see, Jensen didn't even use his flash, so probably had no time to even react, but immediately teleports back into the lane because he wants to get this wave shoving and bouncing back so he doesn't get too starved.
Sheen for that as well, so hopefully deliver a bit of damage back. Remember, no splash here for Svenskeren. Oh. There's Devour, but Sona's still going to come out and be as squishy as she was when she went in. Doublelift heals it up, and they're going to be able to stay nice and healthy with the summoner heal.
Oh, man.
JJ now onto the side of C9 where the summoner spell is being used. This Svenskeren's there as a meat wall to block most of the damage coming through. A great defensive stop for TL there.
Incredibly well played by CoreJJ and Doublelift to only burn heal and actually then get the summoner spells out of C9. But let's watch this one more time. So Nisqy is in lane, has Water Blade, it's just flash EQ, and then Svenskeren also flash E's. So that is one of the things you can do with highly coordinated play when both of your players are willing to burn flash. You'll get the kill. The question is, what do they do with it? They use both flashes. Nisqy doesn't have teleport, couldn't get back to lane. Because you look at it now, Jensen's got a Sheen, he's got wave priority, and still got his flash.
It's going to be a bit tough to do it again. They did play off of that vision. They had just set up towards the top side, seeing Xmithie and Svenskeren in the same spot, so he thought, why not loop around and rinse and repeat that gank. 34-42 as that teleport back to lane did keep Jensen up in farm so he could keep wearing away at that lane. A good back and forth, but most will be sustained here by CoreJJ as Doublelift and him try to stay up. 44 in that farm combined to the 38 on Sneaky and Zeyzal's side. Yeah,
big thing to try and track in those lanes is what you just did there. Look at the support CS up until the point where Doublelift fully completes his support quest, in which case he will no longer be penalized for last hitting. And things are looking pretty solid for Doublelift and CoreJJ. When I looked at all the teams that played either Sona Taric or Sona Tahm Kench, by far TL was the best at it, specifically with how they could actually get gold onto Doublelift. So he gets the item faster, he'll CS better afterwards, and oftentimes doesn't even fall that far behind in lane. Despite playing so many Sona games, Doublelift still averages positive gold differences at 10 and 15 minutes.
I feel like that works. Doublelift, gold, resources, pretty synonymous.
He finds a way to get them.
Yep. Anyway and every way. Coming up on 7 minutes. No plates have been dropped yet. A little bit of pressure to the turrets, but nobody's committing fully. Not enough forward vision and just easy play in the lanes here. C9 are pretty happy with that first gank towards Nisqy in mid to see how that kind of goes. Level 6 has just hit for Jensen. Well, the waves have been reset quite often to keep the players in lanes. Expect those roams to start coming in.
Yeah, so I do think that this game is going to be played through the mid lane. Whichever mid laner has the push is going to be able to let his side lanes win. Jensen actually backs off to go into his jungle, and that'll buy a little bit of time for TL to get the CS, because C9 doesn't want to step up until TF appears again. So pay attention to this little cat and mouse game anytime a mid laner sneaks into Fog of War, because these bot lanes are the targets of where the fights will happen, but the fights will just happen based off of where the mid lane pressure is being applied, if that makes sense.
Follow that and you will find the fights. Little tongue lash missed out. Still, you can't trade too much back on a CoreJJ. You just take tanky catfish. Finally, projectiles out to get the farm as well. And a little bit of a gank here on impact towards the top side. All he has is a step to his name. Slicing Maelstrom goes out at the other side of the turret. It's perfect for now to buy some time, but it's not going to be enough. Flash from Licorice. That's going to revive. Jensen follow. One kill here. Almost gets him with the revive, but he does not. They could pick up the kill onto Jensen. He was just trying to help his teammate on the top side, but he's going to go down for his troubles, and Nisqy is 3-0 at 8 minutes.
A little bit of misdirection there. I talked all about how the bot lane's going to crash, and as you're thinking about it, they sneak up to the top side. Nisqy with the first roam, but Jensen does match it temporarily. Ends up going in the favor of C9, and that is a fed early Qiyana.
TL now on the Mountain Drake, as they know they lost a bit of pressure on the top side. Few plates and a red buff as C9 continue this little foray into the jungle. Let's see this dive once more.
Yeah, if you look at the mini-map, Nisqy and Svenskeren appear out of nowhere. There is not vision on the top side. All of it was concentrated more towards the bot jungle, so they're able to successfully get that turret dive. Licorice does take a lot of damage. You do not get the revive reset anymore on Aatrox, so Jensen is able to flash follow. However, good cast by Svenskeren there to stop the retreat of Jensen, and Nisqy, with his high mobility, able to dash in for that final.
See how much more he keeps moving around the map. He's got to be feeling good. Youmuu's Ghostblade finished up already as he comes back to lane with a 300 gold bounty, so a little bit more movement speed to get himself into the plays that could take down his opponent. Not too much from the bot side. 2 forward wards, however, are placed down there. I figured those would have been something for Impact or Jensen come time. And Nisqy's feeling a bit frisky here as he starts getting emote funny.
This is the point that you really don't want Qiyana to get to if you're Twisted Fate. Because if Jensen ever steps in range of Qiyana to E, it's EQ, W's for rock, Q again with an auto attack, and that'll be about 70% of Jensen's health. So Jensen kind of just has to hug his turret unless Xmithie is there for some type of counter, because Nisqy's going to be really aggressive trying to get these trades off.
Beautiful vision play here by Nisqy, hovering towards the bottom side as he does not know what's on the top. Looks like he just played it perfectly as ring around the rosy. Xmithie goes right back to the other side. Nisqy slowly moving up. Looks like they'll get a little bit of a clear vision and maybe some love for the Rift Herald here. Not now that they were seen and replaced in their vision.
Yeah, River Control, though, the name of the game. Double control wards. Very fortunate of TL that that one control ward in the top side river is still unkilled. But TL doing their best to roam with CoreJJ to get a little bit of that vision back. So much jungle attention towards the mid lane.
Swept out already. Oh, finds one behind. Very nice. Seems like they have to look in the odd spots for this game. Nobody's placing the regular wards except for Pixel Brush. There's another one as they try to get a little bit of ground on what will be in that river and gives Xmithie a hard time to continue pathing through his jungle. If they can track him, Nisqy knows exactly where to go.
Yeah, TL definitely going to be on the back foot until they get a little bit more levels in their characters, actually, to increase their base health above the threshold with which Qiyana can one-shot them. Qiyana being 3-0 with lethality item and level 9, meaning max rank in Q, basically the most potent point for an AD assassin is right now. So TL needs to just do anything possible to stay away from this game.
Push to mid lane with Sven hovering just off on the right. This will be the first counter Xmithie could participate in. Is it going to be fast enough? And he doesn't really hit the flag and drag.
Yeah.
Sven and Nisqy are both out.
Yeah, I mean, Xmithie knew what was coming. He just couldn't stop it. The execution there from Nisqy, we'll go over it in the replay, but basically presses all his buttons just right as Svenskeren comes in as well to get the kill and also several plates, but they're going for more.
Flash
Great
forward,
flash.
flash. And you can see the power that has to be respected by this Qiyana in the mid lane now. They might get a few plates on this. Nisqy builds himself up even more, and that becomes a bit of a lead here for C9 that they can work with.
Yeah, so as we'll see in this replay, Nisqy dashes in with Waterblade, gets the root, then will stun against the turret with his ultimate, and that's pretty much enough to get the kill. So basically presses all the buttons at once, resets, goes in for another Q, easy kill. All happened really fast, I promise. If you watch his pro review, those are the buttons he hit.
Even with the Predator on and Jensen kind of having the oh no feature come up over him, he could not do anything about it. Xmithie as well, just trying to catch up to the plays C9 is setting the tempo with. And this is one that could turn it around a bit. If they have an option of where they can put their pressure and still focus another side of the map, you can really claw yourself back in.
TL, though, trying to go for this Rift Herald, gets it pretty low because Impact does have that push pressure in the top lane right now.
Uh-oh.
Gotta get it.
Got it. He'll get it.
Pretty
Walk away with the eye. Jarvan has an easy escape over the wall. Xmithie, even though low on that one, they have an idea of where he is for now. Coming up almost on to 15 minutes, we'll have another Drake in 15 seconds on that Mountain Drake. Another one for TL could mean when they get to these turrets, if they start controlling the map, they will fall fast. That's all a bit from now as we get the lanes once again reset down on the bot side. 117, 118 now to 140 as they continue to share CS more to Doublelift side.
Yeah, I mean, even though the mid lane has gone heavily in the favor of C9, thinking about the expectation of these matchups, the Sona Tahm Kench not losing a single turret plate to the Ezreal Yuumi should be called out as a huge victory for the TL bottom lane.
Absolutely. Doublelift's only going to be stronger. Definitely knows how to utilize that positioning on regular marksmen, so if he knows he's going to be squished here.
His gold is only minus 70 versus Sneaky. When you compare that to the average of Sona versus marksman lanes, that's well above.
600 positive at the support position as well, as CoreJJ's been able to get himself a little cash money. This Drake going over to C9 is they do get the wave situation in their control for that Drake moment, but it has been a back and forth down here. 4 turret plates to 2, and that Rift Herald, unfortunately, is still up. Xmithie hasn't had the right chance to use it. Still very powerful in those hands, though. Yeah,
it really just feels like there's been so much tension around the mid lane that people haven't even been willing to go too heavily into the side lanes, aside from that one gank we saw up top lane. Xmithie, you do like to see that Herald used before 14 minutes, but in a situation where your solo lanes aren't pushed up, that's kind of the one time I'm not going to lambast a player for using it before 14 for turret plates. It's like, if the Herald wouldn't have even charged, then you should hold it. And I think Xmithie is going to wait for an opportunity where he can get a Herald charge.
Gonna get him so nervous they just start activating it in base. We're like, I don't think he'll make it. He'll make it. Just cresting 15 minutes. The first time these teams played, C9 was up 3.2k gold. Much closer this time around. We also had Kumo on the Jace in that game, solo killing Impact. A solo kill on Jensen at one point, so they were running amok that game. TL's definitely ramped up from that since that week 5 matchup, and they are putting on quite a better show here. As we said, Rift Herald still to be used as everybody kind of goes back to the farming phase. Mid pressure is slowed down a bit as they realize fighting back against Nisqy and Svenskeren might be a little tougher, even if they meet 2v2 now.
Yeah, and TL's just waiting for their items. They're wanting Doublelift to get level 11 for more normal spell CDR that comes from his ultimate rank up, and also waiting for the Lich Bane. Again, they're also trying to buy time away from Nisqy. As great as the start has been for Nisqy, he's going to have to continue to rack up kills if they want to win here. It's very difficult to play AD Assassins against Tahm Kench, even harder against the large amounts of CC that TL can have. Gold card Jarvan, Kennen, Sona all these things. One bad move by Nisqy, you don't have any durability on Qiyana, and you have to go melee range to get off your combos in the right places. So Nisqy still, great start, has got to continue to play great if C9 wants to win this game.
Absolutely, you're staring down the barrel of big AoE ultimates on the side of TL. You can't just dive in as somebody who wants to assassinate somebody. You're gonna get shocked into place, and Doublelift will sing you a song.
And TL might not get this charge off. C9 is completely in the river. If they push for this, Nisqy's gonna clean up.
One hit, will he be able to get back to fight? The Crescendo ultimate goes down, and that is gonna be Nisqy down quick. Svenskeren's gotta shift himself out of that position, and he's gonna move fast to do so. The 3 members of TL now stand strong in the bot lane. You have Jensen pushing mid for free now. That Rift Herald did hit with a pretty good charge, flag and drag over the wall. Final chapter comes out, a little bit crescendo medicine of their own from C9 side. It's not going to be enough to take anybody down, though.
Solo kill!
With the solo kill on the top side. We're going coast to coast for these skirmishes right now. And the mid lane is still getting pressured with another wave from Jensen.
TL just bides their time. They aggressively push up with that Rift Herald, and that's the type of failure that is possible on Qiyana. You make one mistake, and you do no damage whatsoever. C9 wasn't coordinated as they walked towards TL. TL could just hold their CC for Nisqy's initiation. They do so, and they clean up. That play should have been C9 going in as 4 against 3 together. Instead, it was 2 approaching from the front as 2 retreating from the rear, and they give up their advantage.
Doublelift and CoreJJ have been absorbing and continuing a bit of pressure on that bot side. So ready for a fight to come to them as we see that one again in just a few. Ocean Drake in a minute, as we'll have a chance for things to settle down here and some core items to be purchased out as that Mikhail's Crucible and a few others come into the hands. C9 trying to attack back in the jungle as we watch this solo kill on the top side.
Yeah, this is what we didn't get to see. Remember, this is an on-hit Kennen, so Blade of the Ruin King and the Executioner's calling to reduce that healing. He just gets the stun off, the ult. You're not going to be able to land those abilities once Impact has closed the distance. That was just extremely well played by Impact. And yeah, whenever you get a solo kill, 1v1, and you're at over 60% health in the middle of the lane, I think that's worthy of a taunt.
He totally laughed. You heard it there at the end. Oh, I love it. Fantastic job. Kennen getting a little boost in that attack speed too on his E, so coming through, we can just whip out those shurikens. Take down Licorice. A little love from Licorice now in the mid lane as he tries to pick up that death. A good flash from Doublelift as he does save the support, but CoreJJ goes down for saving the VIP.
That was a tough situation that C9 put TL in right there. Doublelift normally very good about not using flash and trusting CoreJJ to eat, But that's where Svenskeren comes in clutch, because now when Tahm Kench devours a teammate, he can't flash. So as soon as he devours a teammate, he's super slow, he can't flash. Svenskeren has a perfect target for a cask, knocks him back, only for Doublelift to be able to hop out right before that landed and use his flash. Does C9 not get a double kill?
Literal term, 2 birds, 1 cast.
Boom.
Works out. Good dragon take. That's going to be some nice regen for C9 here. Right now they're stopping some aggression towards the top side. Man, those shurikens hurt. Licorice has to even consider using sweet spots to farm this out with his Qs. And he's just letting that CS go to the wayside as he keeps himself safe. Looking around the map, looks like we have Sneaky and the rest coming out of base as TL finally actually get out of the lanes to use now these turrets being down and pushing the wards forward. You can see how much they're encroaching onto the side of C9.
Yeah, and the big thing is that Impact has the push priority on Aatrox. So if C9 is thinking about, okay, how are we going to win this game? They have Skirmisher in the top lane who is normally able to get priority, and then they have a Qiyana who got fed early who you'd want to be roaming around. However, since Jensen has Twisted Fate, he can join Impact anywhere he wants, and TL actually has the skirmish advantage, as well as potentially having the team fight advantage because of Sona Tahm Kench. So C9's options are becoming more limited, and it's more about them actually having to be very creative with how they can slow someone with Yuumi and get Svenskeren in for a cast combo and pick up kills in fights where they have more people.
Kind of is, if they have a straggler, they can almost start a full fight, but you can't start a full fight right in the face of the other team. You see one ultimate going down, Xmithie with a nice stopwatch. There's big damage onto him as he goes down to about 10% HP. That turret's almost dropped. His true shot barrage goes right past Doublelift, and they keep peppering each other back and forth, but stand tall as Impact in the bot lane is doing work off the ball.
Yep, that's 3 ultimates down for C9. They took their shots, they missed, and that means they have to pay the side lane cost now. Impact never teleported back up, and TL using that Sona mana to get those health bars back full.
Continuously pushing forward. It looks almost impossible for C9 to find the structures here if all TL members are present, and that's weird because, or at least 4 of them, because they do have those global ultimates. It seems like they should be around the map trying to spread C9 thin, but they are able to just create a blockade wherever C9 wants to go at this point. Just past 20 minutes, so we obviously have Baron on the map now. No real temptation game to be played with that just yet. Just Division, and we'll be happy for the time being. They got to figure out what to do about Impact, though. This is getting serious.
Yeah, Impact has had a great weekend so far. He played Aatrox, brought the team back from a large deficit yesterday. Today, he goes against the Aatrox and is fairly reliably getting push priority, got the solo kill, and that was after getting 3-man doe earlier on the lane. So Impact really pulling his weight so far in this game.
Phantom Dancer, Tabbies, Blade of the Rune King, feels nice. Just keep going, gotta throw fast. A little 2v2 in the mid lane here. Both supports have someone on their back for the safety, as no real ground is being gained. Able to pick up the jungle and the buffs here before they really get back into a fight phase. Actually, this does help for Nisqy. He creates some pressure to the top side, but he's got to spend a while before he does damage to that turret.
Yeah, still no turrets down for any of C9.
It's a lot of standing gold.
TL actually looking for maybe a flank here as Impact is running up through the jungle. I'm not going to overcommit on anything because they're comfortable with the scaling of Sona and Twisted Fate as this game gets later.
Yeah, why not? Before, as we were saying yesterday, Doublelift was saying, yeah, I may have died a few times. The team needed to set back and be safe. Here they're playing calm and collected, and they came out of laning phase very strong on that bot side. So good mental shift overnight. They were able to get that one to come through on the side of Team Liquid. Still down in kills, but it shows you just how much you can work the map around your opponent. You don't always have to be taking them down.
Yeah, TL is settling into a 1-3-1 right now. As you can see, both their soul laners in the sides. Tahm Kench, Sona, Jarvan. Very difficult to dive on 3-man squad in the middle. One of the ideal setups you would want if you're going to just kind of delay the game with split push. It's about the first time this game they've actually moved into this 1-3-1. And as long as we don't get a fight here, I think there's an interesting point to be made about TF, because I think a lot of times when I see TF locked in, I hear people saying, well, they have TF, they must split push. That's all TF is good for. You can't team fight with TF. Those are some extremes.
Right.
But in this case, when you do have a Sona for auras, sometimes Twisted Fate can be a pick to stop the other team from split pushing. Because it means if they try and split off with one person, you're going to be able to bring that numbers advantage much faster. So I don't actually always think it's wrong to group 4 in mid lane like this, even if one of them is TF, because now, if there is a 1v1 that Impact feels like he has an edge on, it's very easy for TL to go and win that. So I think right now, TL playing fairly intelligently with their team composition.
Especially with his AD TF. You're remembering and sometimes reconsidering in the fight, that's not AP. These autos hurt, so him being that close to you all the time, sometimes it throws you right off. There's a Infernal Drake, that 10% damage going over. It's the first one for the side of Liquid. Here comes the final chapter across the team with TL, and they're gonna look to trade this one back. Very low health bars as they get themselves back into the fight, and that's gonna be Svenskeren going down first. Doublelift picks himself up another kill as they lose Impact, a 1-for-1. As they continue to trade, the Prowling projectile keeps them in range, and that's the double kill! Coming in for Sneaky in the bot lane of Zeyzal.
Huge fight for C9 coming in after the Drake, really trying to get that last one.
Ooh, just missing the
They're gonna keep chasing.
Can they though? Xmithie, there's the slows, there's the lockdown, they even exhaust him to make sure he's in range.
And Riv, with how long that fight trailed on, it actually brought C9 closer to the Baron. They can just parlay that team fight into this Baron attempt.
I wonder if anybody's up long enough if they would actually stay in base to Abyssal Voyage Doublelift up and stay with CoreJJ, but now they're just gonna have to put the two members there. Not enough time to make that happen.
Core has Smite.
That unsealed spellbook did change him over. He has a summoner spell that could make it count. His flash was just used to get away from the situation, though. He's got to find a way around the wall, and if he can do it in time, Impact's going to try to stall him out.
He's ulting in!
Ulting in! That's going to be huge for Abyssal Voyage! Oh my god, he's not going to get his Svenskeren! Comes up huge in the contest!
Oh man, trying to use every trick in the book, but ultimately, the Baron looked like it was bursted down from about 1k there. We're going to go all the way back to watch this fight. You have to be very wary of Qiyana in the river. Only actually gets CoreJJ, but it's the Yuumi ultimate that actually sticks through to root CoreJJ and Xmithie. And then here, Licorice in the front line, where the damage from TL just isn't able to come through because they were able to focus down Kennen, who kind of acts as the marksman in these mid-game team fights. So the fact that C9 could take him down first meant there wasn't return damage for Aatrox in here. CoreJJ is so clever with that Abyssal Voyage, but looking at the Baron, 1,700 health. Let's see how they actually try and burst it down. Just basically perfect smite. Went from 1,000 to nothing. Timing the damage as it goes through.
Yeah, that's a tough one to win. You're 2 levels down for the smite of the actual jungler, so you're definitely not doing as much true damage to the objective. Always got to try, though. We saw it pulled out last week and have very big effects. 27 minutes now. This is when the first game between these two ended in week 5. And C9 is knocking the front door after previously, just a few minutes ago, Chad, you said they had no turrets down on the side of TL. See how quick the game can swing. Doublelift very low. He's probably going to have to find a little safety on the fountain. No worries there. He has enough mana to just heal up. He's trying to bait him in for another fight, possibly. Final chapter across is drawn out from Zeyzal. That could look good to engage back on, but they're giving C9 a bit of respect here. They know they can still come back with one inhibitor down. Oh my god, Impact gets popped back! Svenskeren drinks him under the table, and that's Licorice's kill. What a snap play here by C9 for the shock and awe against TL.
They want to go for more. They got level 16 on Aatrox. They still have the Qiyana ultimate. If they find one more pick, they could end it. But actually, they're just chipping down that turret with Ezreal.
You get disgusting damage if you can hit the W and autos from Ezreal on these turrets. A 1 Nexus turret down.
Riv, they might force TL into engaging, and I don't think TL is equipped to win this 45 right now. C9 might try and end it on this push.
20 seconds left on the Slicing Maelstrom from Kennen. Xmithie goes in. It's a go for broke moment for TL. Doublelift trying to get himself in the back line. TL could clinch first with this victory, but C9 says not today. CoreJJ great health, and his health says bye-bye. C9 takes down Team Liquid.
Just when they